What's going on, everybody? So in today's video we're going to be going over a lot of classes for Warzone, basically. Well, I guess Warzone and the multiplayer together. I'll go over the Warzone classes first. I know we've had a lot of questions about that in the channel. So first up, we're going to look at the most popular option, which is the Grau. Now, whenever you build any of these classes, basically your favorite weapon that you use, like your go-to, you're going to want to make a fully loaded perk, fully loaded class. And for me, you're going to want to put it at the top of your list. That way, if you're coming in on a loadout late in the game, or you know there's people around it, you can land on that loadout, get right into the box, hit the top, the very first class. Make sure it's labeled clearly exactly what it is, unless you can name it something silly. As you can see, I didn't do any silly names, except for one. You can just get that weapon right away and jump right into the action. For me, fully loaded Grau. Obviously, it's got to shoot the purple bullets. That makes you the ultimate gamer. So on my fully loaded Grau, this is what I have here. I have a 5mm laser. This is all personal choice, or if you want to use this or not. Me, I don't care if people know where I'm at. I know some people are a little different on position, on giving away where they're at on the map, but for me, it doesn't really bother me. People have lasers all the time. It doesn't really change the outcome of a fight. The only way that it changes the outcome of a fight for me is the 5mm laser has hip fire accuracy and sprint to fire speed. And that's huge. Sprint to fire speed is absolutely insane in Warzone, because you can be going towards a team, rounding a corner, and somebody pops out you didn't expect to be there. And if you're full sprint and that gun's all the way up, or just full sprint in general, that sprint to fire speed is going to save your life. Now, when you're leveling the Grau, you're not going to have this barrel available immediately, but this is the one you need. You need the Tempest Archangel, because this is the one that gives you the, I can't rotate the weapon there, but you're going to get damage range out of this, bullet velocity, and recoil control. This thing really doesn't need that much recoil control. This thing's a beam to start. But just unlock that and get the recoil control, and you're just going to be lasering people. I wish it really would let me, here, let me preview the weapon. See how thin that laser sight is? I mean, that sight is right there. That's your iron sight you're working with. That thing is money when it comes to taking people out. And then for my muzzle, the monolithic suppressor gives you the damage range, the sound suppression. You get the ADS speed and aim walking set in this, but you don't even notice. This gun absolutely beams. There's a reason why people always want this nerf. Obviously, if you're going for the fully loaded class, like this Grau is, you need to have the perk fully loaded. This is what's going to give you all of your ammo, maximum starting ammo at the beginning for this weapon. So you're going to start with 50 in the mag and 210 back up. So you're going to be good to fight. And you need the 50 round mag, obviously. This one has the purple bullets. Helps me win games. I'm pretty sure that's what they do. Alright, secondary, run an RPG, obviously, for loading reasons.
Shooting at you?
Dumbasses.
Oh my god.
For the perks are very, I don't know. For me, they're straightforward. You can change the yellow perk depending on how much of a team player you are. On my fully loaded class, I know it's kind of a class that I'm going to take when everybody's in a pinch. So I'll have my EOD, which is going to stop me from getting blown up by C4 in one, or like a rocket in one shot. I run Ghosts so we can stay off that map, off of heartbeats. It makes you undetectable by UAVs, radar, drones, and heart. And then, as I stated in the third slot, I am running Battle Hardened. And this is because tight situation. If I'm grabbing a fully loaded class, likely means I'm either alone or my teammate count is low. So I'm going to take a perk that's going to help me the most, and this is going to stop strength of enemy flash, stun, EMP, and gas effects, as well as snapshot grenades. Anybody ever hit you? Somebody hit you with a snapshot grenade in Warzone, you're already dead. They're absolute psychopaths. I've never been hit with one before. So if you're hit with one, good luck. The next one that I run, I'm not in a pinch. See it on my other classes? Tune up. The reason I run this is because in Warzone, it reduces revive time of your teammates by 25%. So if you have a down teammate, you can pick them up faster than anybody else, unless they're running tune-up as well. Lethal, always going to be a C4. C4s are the most powerful thing in Warzone for lethal. You throw a pack at a car that's going by, except for a Big Bertha. One explosion of this C4 will blow up the car. Everybody in it.
Car coming in, car coming in.
He's going. Where the fuck is he going?
He's going nowhere.
I'm pissed I just threw my C4. I'm pissed I...
And if it's a Big Bertha, it takes 2. And then for my tactical, some people run heartbeats, some people run stuns, flashes. It's all depending on what you want to get done. For me, I don't like wasting time in the game. I'm not a very check my heartbeat guy. Proceed, check heartbeat, proceed. If I'm doing solos, I might, because a lot of people don't run Ghost in solos. But a lot of the times I'm running into people sitting upstairs in houses or on roofs. I just ran their house. Nice, dude! And I'll use the stun grenade as kind of an entry to get into those rooms. And it just gives me more value than a heartbeat. So, going on to the second class, it's another Grow. Essentially the same setup as before, except for I think I have the stock swapped on this because it's not fully loaded. Oh no, there's no stock swap. We have the rear grip, XRK Void 2 on this. This is going to give you ADS speed and sprint to fire speed. So just more of a buff. We're not using that fully loaded perk. So we're taking another buff to sprint to fire. And then on the MP5, this MP5 is 5 milliwatt laser, subsonic integral suppressor, 45 round mag, rear stapled grip tape, because this is going to give you ADS sprint to fire, collapsible stock, because this is going to give you ADS speed and movement speed, 5 milliwatt laser, hip fire, and sprint to fire. Again, the con of the 5 milliwatt laser, it's visible to enemies. The MP5s all should basically be built around, in my opinion, built around sprint to fire speed. Because anytime you use this, instead of like something like your Grow or your primary AR, you're going to be using this typically at close range. And you can use, this is all by choice here, 45 round mag, or you can put a 30 round 10mm mag. 10 mil is going to give you a little more damage, and that damage does show up. I like using 10 mil round mags, but I'm trying to become more of a fan of the 45 rounders, because there's been times where I barely killed the second person with the 10 mils, because you can't miss. With the 45 round mag, you can miss a little bit and still easily get 2, but with a 30 round 10mm mag, you have to hit every shot. So, to get this class, you need to run your EOD perk in the first slot, Overkill in the second slot. Overkill is the one that allows you to get 2 primary weapons. So you're going to lose your Ghost. So if you're ever in a game with your teammates, and you're getting a loadout, I think it'd be a good thing to mention, I'm grabbing my Overkill. Because at that point, your teammates should probably just grab an Overkill as well. Because you're going to be on radar. So it would kind of be a waste for them to be off radar because they're gonna think they're off radar. You're gonna be on. You're gonna get rolled up on a team, and your teammates are gonna die and be like, "Man, how the frick did they know we were there?" And then you'll be like, "Oh, I was running overkill," and then everybody's all sad and upset. Perk 3 here. This is team player class. Tune up. I'm reducing revive times by 25%. I'm really torn if I want to switch that to battle hardened more of the time, or not. We'll see. Going on to the M13 here. M13 is a freaking awesome gun. Really good gun. For me, I run monolithic suppressor. A 3x optic, the classic boomer scope. I run a forged tack stalker, so I can get more aiming stability out of this. This has got a little more bounce than the growl. I'm trying to neutralize that there with the stability. And same here on the grip tape. I got a recoil control on my grip tape. Try to get that bounce down a little bit because the damage that comes out of this gun is really good. And I have a 50 round mag on it. Again, secondary RPG, easy, explosive. EOD goes tune up, C4, and stun grenade. Here, my other weapon I use is the boomer growl. I call it the boomer growl because it's got the boomer 3x scope on it. So, same thing as the other weapon, except for I think I had to give up the 5 milliwatt laser to get the 3x optic. And in the slots here, same story. MP5. Here is the MP5 in its class alone. What you guys should do is actually what I'm going to do right now. Is come down here, grab yourself, you know, a camo that you like. Here, I'll put the USA camo on mine. And the reason that you should do this, is because with this being, you have this camo on it, right? I learned this from Nick Merckx, but when you go to pull your weapon out of the crate, say you're running overkill, right? And you have that MP5 that my other MP5 has no camo. And you go to a second loadout, and you're like, oh, I can get my ghost now. So you run to go get it, and you pull out an MP5, and it's the same color as the other one. And you're playing, you can't remember if you got a second loadout or not. If you change the camo on your ghost class, here, you can get this camo on it, so when you pull it out, you have your ghost camo, and you're like, okay, I've got ghost, we're chilling, we're good to go. The one thing that I need to do on this class, that I always forgot to do, is put the collapsible stock on this class. I kept forgetting to do that quite a bit. Secondary, combat knife. I should probably just change that to RPG. Or you could actually keep it as your, you could keep this as the combat knife. Mainly because it's just, you can run faster with it. So if you're getting shot, pull that out and run. There's not a lot of times you really get a chance to use the RPG, like I barely ever get to use my RPG. But they are good when you have. EOD, Ghost, Tune-Up, C4, Stun. Same business there. Now we're out of the Warzone classes. Now we're going to go into the multiplayer classes. So for the Grow, I use my aggressive Grow, right? Everything pulled towards fast ADS speed except for the stock. I don't mess with that. The rear grip ADS, 5 milliwatt ADS. This is still giving you damage range. I go with this because it gives you damage and you get this really clean iron sight, so you don't have to waste any time putting scopes on the weapon. Suppressor so nobody can see, will figure out where you're shooting from. And the 50 round mag. Secondary, RPG, because RPGs are fun to shoot at people in multiplayer. The perks, I am going to change this one, because that is not what I normally run. I will run Kill Chain for all of my multiplayer classes, so I can string all my kill streaks together. I will run Ghost, and then I will run a Battle Hardened perk to reduce that strength of any specialty things that are thrown at you. And then going on to the MP5s. Here's 2 MP5s that I use. This needs to be corrected. There we go. So I'll use the collapsible stock, same attachments as before. This would go to Kill Chain, Ghost, and then instead of Tune-Up, because these were copied from my Warzone classes, I would use Battle Hardened. And then the variant of that gun that we just modified, that other MP5, I am using 10mm round, 30 round mags for this MP5. They get more damage, you get a few less bullets, but you get more damage out of these bullets. Kill Chain, Battle Hardened, Ghost. It's very consistent. And then the last class is a Warzone class. I picked it off of another player in a Warzone game. It's very similar to this build here. The Kilo is kind of an underrated weapon, I think. I think it has very good potential. I don't have the monolithic suppressor for it yet. I'm working towards it. But a monolithic suppressor would be here. This barrel would be on it, because this barrel is giving damage range, bullet velocity, and recoil control. So anything that's going to give you damage range is great for Warzone, because you're fighting enemies at all varying degrees of distance. And go with the 5mm laser, so you can get the ADS speed up, and the 3x optics, so you can just absolutely beam people far away. 50 round mag, absolutely necessary. You need extended mags when you're playing Warzone, because if you're playing duos, trios, squads, whenever you start shooting one enemy, you're likely at least going to get an engagement out of one more. So that is all of the builds that we have for Warzone and multiplayer. If you guys would like any other topics done on Warzone or multiplayer, be sure to let me know in the comments below. But thank you for watching the video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Take it easy.